Hello, my name is Brian, and I'm one of the attorneys here at Fidelity Law. One of the most important concepts in a Chapter 7 bankruptcy is the idea of a bankruptcy estate. When a person files a bankruptcy, the law immediately creates a separate legal entity or estate. Just like when a person passes away, their property all immediately becomes property of their probate estate. Well, so too, when a person files a bankruptcy, all of their property immediately becomes the property of the bankruptcy estate. In essence, during the pendency of the bankruptcy, the debtor doesn't actually own any of their assets anymore. Instead, they're all owned by the bankruptcy estate, which is administered by the bankruptcy trustee. It's important to know that when a bankruptcy is filed, the bankruptcy estate only then owns the interests that were previously held by the debtor. So, for example, if a debtor owns half of a property as a tenant in common with another person, only that interest held by the debtor becomes the property of the bankruptcy estate, not the entire property. It's also important to note that the bankruptcy estate only becomes the owner of the property interests that are held by the debtor at the time of the filing of the bankruptcy. Say, for example, that I file a bankruptcy today and then find a backpack full of money tomorrow. Well, then only my assets that I have today will become the property of the estate. The backpack full of money will not become an asset of the bankruptcy estate because I acquired it after the petition was filed. This becomes particularly important in cases where a debtor earns wages or commissions after they file a bankruptcy, because those assets are protected from being seized by the trustee to pay off your creditors. Please note that there are many exceptions to this general rule, particularly with respect to inheritances or proceeds from property held at the time of the filing, certain other special assets as well. So you really need to make sure that you have qualified representation when it comes to determining your asset position with respect to your bankruptcy. Otherwise, you may end up in a situation that you didn't expect or desire. Clients are sometimes surprised to find out that the reach of the bankruptcy estate is extremely broad. It doesn't really matter where the property is located or what type of property it is. If you own an interest in that property at the time of the filing, then that interest will become property of the bankruptcy estate. Again, there are exceptions and exemptions which will result in certain property being returned to you upon the discharge of the bankruptcy. These can be things like retirement funds, certain personal property, also your primary residence and your car, things like your tools of the trade, assuming that all of these are within certain exemption limits which vary from state to state. So if you're considering filing a bankruptcy, as a first step, make sure that you have full knowledge of all of the property that you own, as it will really make the process move much more smoothly. Good luck, and have a great day.